All right, guys, in this episode, Craig Douglas is going to talk about the offhand fending positions.
Hey guys, Craig Douglas here from Shivworks and Trigger Time TV to talk to you today about offhand fending positions. Now, when I use that word, a fending position, what does that mean? Well, essentially what it means is I'm holding the gun and I'm doing something active with this hand to support the fight, such as getting in or getting out. Now, the first thing we have to understand is, despite what we see in a lot of training videos and social media, typically offhand fending positions are not things that are drawn into. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, let's think about a couple of things. If I'm going to successfully present a gun inside the wingspan, the main thing I need here is control. So, if I were to lose control of Mike's limb and go to some kind of offhand fending position, more than likely he's just going to start beating me up, fouling my draw, and doing things like that. So, offhand fending positions are usually not things that are drawn into. Where they do come out is typically after you've timed this presentation well, maybe using good wrestling, such as off of an arm drag. I do have control, the line of presentation is clear, I get this gun out, boom, okay, and then on the way out, maybe Mike takes a swing at me like that. That's usually where these offhand fending positions come into, okay? So they're typically things that come out after you draw the gun. So I'm going to teach you two offhand fending positions. The first one, it's called a vertical elbow shield, and essentially it's kind of what I just did with Mike. It's a head cover. I'll pull the forearm to the bicep, post the bicep to the cheekbone, and grab the back of my head. Now I'm going to raise the shoulder as I do that, okay? Essentially, I use this to cover my head from a blow while holding a gun. So I tend to think about the vertical elbow shield as a defensive move. A good example of that may be I've achieved timing on Mike via the arm drag. I've shot him a timer 5. I've tried to exit, but he's not diminished enough, and Mike takes a poke at me, whoop, right there on the way out. That's where I need that good offhand fend, okay? So the vertical elbow shield tends to be a defensive position. The second position I'm going to show you is called a horizontal elbow shield. Now when I do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to touch the opposite shoulder and I'm going to roll this elbow right in front of my face, tuck my chin, and get my body mass behind this elbow point. I tend to think about the horizontal elbow shield as an offensive battering ram type position. It's a great place to crash a guy while holding a gun. If I have to get through him, okay, run over him or pin a guy, it's a really good offensive battering ram technique. Works really, really, really well, okay? So that's how I think about these two positions. The vertical elbow shield as a defensive head cover, the horizontal elbow shield as a position to crash with, okay? The main thing we need to really be mindful of is how we collect the gun when we're coming out of any kind of fending position. The last thing we want to do, if I've smashed Mike with this horizontal elbow shield, is try and get back to my sights by doing something like this. So we're going to establish that rule for collecting the pistol anytime we come out of a fending position, and the rule is this: we will always return to this flattened hand before we collect the pistol in two-handed shooting. Just like on the vertical elbow shield, same exact thing. I don't want to do anything like this as the gun is traveling forward. I want to make sure this hand is coming back well behind the muzzle. I'm collecting the pistol properly in two-handed shooting and trying to get to my sights and finish the problem ideally post and notch, okay? So, guys, there's a lot going on here. Please take instruction under somebody qualified to do so. My name is Craig Douglas. This is Shivworks. This is Trigger Time TV. Thanks for watching today.